What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. Shout out to everyone who is tuning in, whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are. You are having fun in these markets. You're not getting too bearish, and you're not getting too bullish. But I don't know if there is such a thing as too bullish. But yes, there can be a moment of too much bullishness when you are at the tippy top of the frothy markets. It's usually when retail is feeling the most bullish, is when we're right at the top. So we want to be almost kind of center neutral, feel the markets out. But right now, if you're watching the live stream last night, we did go a little bearish because we saw that the stock market obviously just tanked. If you've been keeping up with all of the markets across the world, we just had basically red across the board, and so that made Bitcoin dump. So we're going to analyze this. We're going to go into some trades. We're going to go into the news, and we are going to do some shout-outs real quick. We're going to shout out to all the members of the channel because we do have members of the channel, and we want to make sure we do our best to give shout outs to those people and make sure we are supporting the people that support this channel. So let's go into, I got to go into the studio mode, and then I can show you guys. And thank you so much for all the new subscribers. We have 2,570 subscribers. It's just crazy. I remember when I was just trying to battle that to get over that 1,000 subscribers, and I would love for all the people, more of you to come into these live streams and just make yourselves known. I'm sure you get notifications on your phone, and it would be really cool to see more of the people that actually are subscribed to this channel to come into the live streams and interact with everyone, because we're trying to build this community grassroots. And so speaking of that, want to do a shout out to all the members. Thank you so much for being continued members of the channel. And that is Stay Calm, Sen, Hector, got Miles Savini, Xen, Jay Spizzle Crypto, Jason Beats, The Blue Iguana, Clint34, and Alexander G. So thank you guys for being members. I really do appreciate it. And so interesting enough, it's you could actually see by looking at if you have a channel, you can actually look at your analytics over time to see how the market has been reacting to and if retail is even caring about crypto. If you see here March, March and April, we had some nice spikes, but then now you can see kind of went back down into those areas where people just like have just don't care as much. It's just not as many views across the board. Viewership on crypto channels and just interest in crypto is just down overall, and we realize that. So, but it doesn't stop us from bringing you guys the content, bringing you guys the news, bringing you the charts, bringing you as much of the optimism as possible, because we have been through a cycle and a half or two, and we've experienced the black swan events, we've experienced the shakeouts, we've made profits, we've taken profits, but we've also been the victim of round tripping 100% on some of these things. So this is why we have this channel. We want to make sure we are keeping it as transparent and open as possible, to let you guys know that it's not just a completely up cycle, and you're, once you get into crypto, you start making all kinds of money. And really, the people that are making the most gains right now are the people that have been through a few cycles, and they understand the cycles, and they see they've made mistakes. I'm sure they made terrible calls, terrible losses, but also out of that have made really good calls. And a lot of the times, the good calls and that mega call that you end up having conviction on and stick through it can actually circumvent the losses that you had on the lessons learned / mistakes of being in the crypto market. So let's take that with a pinch of salt and take that for what you will. But make sure you guys are in the Discord. Make sure you're in the Discord. Make sure you're using all the links in the description to directly support the channel. And the best way you can support the channel, if you want these live streams and this content to keep going strong, all you have to do is just use the links in the description. Trade on my referral links, and there's all the referral links that I have in my description are the things that I personally like to use. I like to use these things. I like to use these exchanges. It's crypto.com, Coinbase, BITFLEX, OURBIT, PHEMEX, and have NordVPN that's in there. So it's basically like if you're new to crypto, you can kind of have your crypto starter pack just right there. You'll learn how to use the crypto debit cards and learn the networks and transfer between these exchanges also. That's also really important, is to know how to, besides just DCA, and like learn how to get your liquidity moved around a little bit, learn how the stable coin market works, and learn about Tron and learn about all these things, because this is what is going to get you ahead of the game of retail in actually being able to have your money more liquid than it being in the traditional finance system. That's the whole point of crypto. It is a better system to be in than the old fiat system, and you actually don't even have to go an off-ramp out of fiat. You could literally keep all your liquidity on chain and be able to, if you have the ability to get and sign up for a crypto debit card, then you can get liquid cash payment 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by knowing how to use crypto. And so we talked about that a lot more in the beginnings of this channel, early stages of this channel, where we're talking about, the crypto debit cards and, how, basically just like testing out the networks and seeing which ones are actually a great one to hold liquidity on, to be able to make trades. And so, all right, so let's say Mr. Tanker said the last bull run I could have cashed out $265K, life-changing money. Shaking my freaking head, bro. Yeah, no, I know. It's mine wasn't that substantial, I'll tell you, because I was like, I didn't have my toe, like I didn't go all in. Like the last cycle, I came in and really started to be more interested in crypto and DCAing like in January of 2021. So I was like putting $25 here, $50 there. So I was like doing very micro DCAing, but I was able to get my portfolio up into the thousands. So it was just a matter of just very small DCA and in-twos, but some people like went in heavy because maybe they already saw like how the last cycle was, and they were like, all right, I'm going in, and they put in some thousands. And so, and then I'm sure, and especially if they put them in some of the altcoins, I mean, for instance, like imagine putting it into Matic, you know, and Matic just, and BNB, Matic and BNB projects like that. I mean, just absolutely ran so hard. I mean, even Litecoin did well. Chainlink did very well. Just a lot of stuff. Phantom did really, really good in the previous bull run, and it's just amazing what the potential of said gains that people could have made. And I'm sure there was way more unrealized gains that happened in the previous cycle than there were actually like gains that were actually taken, because I'm sure like people's profits like went insane. And they just looked at him. They were like, they were so blasted by the gain. They were like, I couldn't even believe it. Some people were smart and they just like took that and ran. And some people were not fast enough to take the profits on these altcoins in these runs. But we're going to show you some charts that might help you guys see exactly where, you know, I don't want to say exactly, but I just want to say that it gives you at least a range of time where you can confidently start to think about taking profits in some of the things that you're accumulating right now. Because we are only 4 or 5 months into the halfway point of the most parabolic run that runs into the election and runs into the Bitcoin halving cycle. And it lines up perfectly, guys. So if you've never heard of this concept before, it is where the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin halving and the election actually lines up perfectly, and it's not a coincidence. I think it is 100% a synchronicity and a actual planned cycle where it lines up with the presidential election of the United States and the 4-year halving cycle. And we have a chart to show you guys how that correlates. But what this will do is this will give you a metric of time where you're like, okay, this is the time to accumulate. This is the time to not get shaken out, to not get too bearish, and to analyze these markets and see what are the strong narratives that are trading right now. We know that was the Solana AI gaming, real world assets, the depend structure, just a lot of these things are, and the memes, obviously. There was something that crypto kid, he almost didn't believe me, but I was like, bro, do you realize that in the top across the entire market, okay, this is why I was like, I'm about to just start to go heavy on Pepe and possibly Pepe. Let me be clear, Pepe, because there's also Pepe, which is the Chinese red frog Pepe narrative, which is the Chinese Pepe. So, but I'm talking just OG Pepe, ERC20 Pepe. Get this. Out of the entire market, guys, okay? Out of the entire market, Pepe is trading at top 10 24-hour trading volume against the whole entire market. Almost surpassing Dogecoin, Aave, one of the premier lending protocols, XRP, BNB, Solana. I mean, what are you going to think when Pepe starts to get trading volume, 24-hour trading volume above Dogecoin and above XRP? That is wild. That is wild. So this is why I'm starting to think that you do not have to be the smartest guy in the room. You don't have to think that like all of the fundamental tech, utility tokens and the layer ones and the layer twos and all that. You really got to start to do all your research and be the smartest guy in the room. And yes, you will do well with these, but the thing that I want everyone to realize is that you might end up having to cope with the fact that you didn't have to like do much at all and just buy Pepe, which is so wild. Like you think, okay, all I had to do was just buy Pepe and not try and beat the market by buying like new memes and all these different other speculative things and all these things that are guaranteed on just like like an application working or something like that. So no, it's just Pepe. It works. It's a meme. It's a meme that everyone knows about. And it seems to be the torch carrier for the entire meme space to be successful. As long as Pepe is successful, it's almost like, and Dogecoin. I want to mention Dogecoin too, because you have to think about Pepe and Dogecoin as the carrying meme torch for the whole sentiment of meme coins. Yo, we got Shazzy in the house. Love from Pakistan. Pakistani. Should I come to Pakistan? Should I go to Pakistan? I've heard that guys are some of the nicest people ever. And when a white guy like me would go over there, they just won't take my money. Is that true? Or is that a myth? I watched a video and I'm pretty sure it was when this guy, he was in Pakistan and he tried to pay for stuff and they were just like, no, you take it. He's like, I'm trying to pay you. Let me give you money. And he's like, no, for you. I just thought that was funny. It was making me laugh. Just so that was very, very cool. Very kind. And then we got Meditation Station from Costa Rica. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for coming in. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already. And we got people from Romania. You got Remus. Shout out to Remus. We've been seeing all these people come in on a normal basis. And guys, I just want to point out that this show is for you guys, and you guys are the show. You are just as a part of the show as I am, because if I didn't have an audience or anyone or cool people to stream to and to get the conversation going, then there wouldn't be a show. So I want to thank you guys personally for coming into these live streams and supporting this channel, because it is about you guys. So I want you guys to thank yourselves for being super awesome and for supporting this channel and coming in and just talking amongst yourselves. It makes it a lot more fun for me, and I hope it makes it a lot more fun for you guys. So pretty awesome, and you guys are awesome. So I just want to say thank you. And so, yeah, so Shazzy's asking some questions. Matic is rebranding. And yes, so Matic is, so this was announced months and months ago. The Polygon ecosystem announced that they are transitioning the actual Matic token to pull. And so actually a lot of exchanges are taking down and delisting Matic and then relisting pull. But what I'm trying to figure out is that how is it going to happen? What is it going to do to the DeFi sector? Is it going to be that when you do a transaction on the Polygon network, is it going to use the POL token instead of the Matic token? These are all questions that I am asking myself. I honestly have no idea. So this is what we're going to figure out together, because ultimately it is going to affect the ecosystem. Is it going to be bullish? Is it going to be bearish? From what I've gathered so far, it is bullish. It is a bullish move, because I think there might have been there's some reason. I mean, there's got to be a reason why they're doing it, and it has to be something that's beneficial to the ecosystem for governance or for anything like that. Because I think that's what ultimately it is. It's like it has some governance aspects to it, along with being a multi-use token that encompasses the entire ecosystem. So I think that's probably why it's called the Polygon ecosystem token, and represents everything that Polygon is involved in, which is a lot. So yeah, we'll probably actually do a deep dive on this, and we'll just make a dedicated video about this, so then everyone can get informed, because I know there's a lot of Matic fans out there. I'm a big fan of Matic. It was the first layer 2 side chain of Ethereum that I started to go into and experiment in, bought in my first NFT on Polygon. And so yeah, so we're really interested in this, and we'll keep it updated. But so, and that's the thing. I'm not sure. So yeah, I think there is going to be a conversion where your Matic will be converted to POL, but I don't know if it'll be done automatically. I'm not sure. So that is something that also I do not know. I'm not sure about how the migration is going to go, but yeah, we'll dive into it. We don't want to say anything here because I don't want you guys to quote me because I'm honestly not sure. So I don't want to act like I know. But we do need to do the research so then we can actually just all be educated and informed together. That's the whole point. And all right, guys, so make sure you're going to danielcurtishughes.com every single day and you are getting the nuggets, the sauce, the nuggets that you can dip into the sauce with the crypto bubbles, and you can just see my favorite tickers that I like to follow, which is Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, XYO, and all my other favorite coins. And join the mailing list as well. And you got XYO here, Polygon, Nakamoto Games, Medieval Empires, Pepe, Brett, and then I'm going to add in the other ones here. I got to add in my other favorite coins in here so then you guys can, without me having to say it all the time, if you just go to my website and look at the tickers that I have listed here, those are my favorite coins. Because it's my own website that I can go and check it out. But yeah, so Bitcoin right now is kind of on the move. So it's at 50. Oh gosh, yes, it's at $58,000. Thank the Lord that I got into the long in enough time out of the short. I was actually still trying to see. I thought Bitcoin was going to a little bit lower. We're going to get to that, guys. And we just want to run through these charts here, or run through these tweets. Tell you guys what is going on, that it's happening literally right now, trending right now in a little bit of politics, worldly news, and money markets, and things that are happening in crypto. So record Bitcoin ETF outflows since May. So this is probably why we have had this kind of bearish short-term sentiment, because we haven't had as much of the inflows as we did into the ETFs as we had the previous months. And so leading up into what traditionally is a bearish September. And so then we also have bullish news. Zurich Cantonal, I can't even speak. Cantonal, there we go. Zurich Cantonal. I was like, Cantonalo? Gosh. Throw me off a bridge. Zurich Cantonal Bank launches Bitcoin Ethereum trading. So this is super bullish. So, and this kind of ties into this this video, which I'm so glad I found this video, because I couldn't remember this guy's name. I watched him talk at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville. I don't know why this isn't popping up. But what this is a trend that I think is going to happen with banks actually going in support and going in the direction of Bitcoin and Ethereum custodial services, and it's going to make it to where it'll keep the banks alive. It'll make it to where people are going to pick the banks that are crypto friendly because they want them to be crypto friendly, which means it's going to break the zeitgeist. It's going to break the full narrative of banks against crypto or crypto against banks, and it actually will pull more liquidity together, and that could be a revolutionary thing that happens. So this could be the start of this, and I have foreseen this happening, of my optimistic, not my pessimism, but from my optimistic mind of a world where the banks actually start to pivot and be crypto friendly and use the on-ramps of that system because it's a better system than what they're using. A more transparent system. So this is what's so interesting, and this is why I think Tether and the strength of Tether, and we'll go into that too, it's all ties in together, because the same guy was saying how Tether does have the proof of reserves, and it's more stable than you think, which people are always flooding Tether. So fourth largest bank, Switzerland's fourth largest bank to launch these Bitcoin and Ethereum trading services. Pretty substantial here. Okay, so let's go into, this was the guy, I hope it doesn't reload it. Oh, it did it again. I'll have a tweet saved and it did not, hopefully did I save it? Let me see. Let me go, hopefully I bookmarked it. Did I bookmark it? Son of a gun. Where did it go? Is it, did I repost it? Yes. Okay. I was like, oh, thought I lost it. Okay. So let's make sure the sound is good.
I guess the easiest way to get a clear view.
This guy, Howard Lutnick, Cantor Fitzgerald CEO, says big banks and traditional finance will all go headfirst into Bitcoin under better regulation. That's what is going to happen, and it's coming. So this is the guy, I was trying to remember his name, where I was like, he squashed the tether FUD. He said, look, if we start to encourage these asset managers to start to help the retail custodian this Bitcoin and also big money wealth funds to get the education that they need to start being more friendly with Bitcoin and crypto and stable coins, then it's going to be just a fire hose of liquidity coming into the cryptocurrency markets on chain. We're only $3 trillion right now on chain. $3 trillion. That is like peanuts compared to all of the market caps of the assets around the world. So listen to this.
Where Bitcoin is going over the next 5 years is take a look at the last 5. Right? The last 5, Bitcoin has been an outsider in the finance business, but coming closer and closer and closer. Right now, there's an ETF just starting to go a little bit mainstream, maybe a toe in the water of mainstream, but banks still can't clear it. Banks still can't transact in it. Banks still can't custodian it. Banks still won't transact in it, and they won't finance it yet. I think people misunderstand traditional financial service companies. They want to transact in Bitcoin. They want new asset classes to transact in. That's just a good thing, but they need the regulator to say it's okay. Right now, today.
And so you understand what he's talking about is that because there is not a good regulatory framework that has been purposefully set up to be like that and make it hard for crypto businesses to exist, we have the perfect tweet right here. If we can find it, let's go back. Where is it? We just retweeted it. Yeah, here we go. Justin, pro-Bitcoin candidate John Deaton won his primary and will now face off against Elizabeth Warren. And so if you guys have done your research that these people like Elizabeth Warren, Janet Yellen, are fighting against crypto, and they do not want any of the banks to be able to do any type of crypto services, and they want to choke all of that innovation, and they want to keep the money for themselves. That's just the honest truth. I mean, they just want to serve their constituents. That's it, and themselves. That's it. And it's been proven over the past 4 years, and just with obvious attacks on crypto, with the leadership of Gary Gensler with the SEC, that this is why stuff like this is so important to follow what this guy is saying.
In the jail. I mean, they would have to set aside their own money, say it's okay. Right now, today, right? If a bank were to hold your Bitcoin, they would have to set aside their own money equal to that amount in sort of like in the jail. I mean, you'd say, well, that's crazy. The answer is, that's why they don't hold it. But if you let them hold it, if the regulatory environment was good, you will see all the traditional financial service companies, the big banks, the big brokerage companies, they're all going to go headfirst into Bitcoin pond. That's what's going to happen, and it's coming. It's a slow, steady process, but eventually there's going to be a CFTC chair who says, you know what? Bitcoin is a financial asset, and we're going to treat it as such. And when that happens, you're going to see Bitcoin move in a very, very strong, positive direction. So that's why I'm a fan of Bitcoin. It's going to go much higher. It always bounces around like any other financial asset, but ultimately over the next 5 years, as it gets invited into this party, up we go.
Up we go. Let's go. All right, so I love that. And so basically, and this is crazy, just to get you guys even more bullish, Fidelity, managing $4.9 trillion, predicts that the price of one Bitcoin could reach $1 billion by 2038. 2038. So we were thinking that, okay, $1 million per coin in 2030 is definitely pretty bullish. I think still conservative and a good indication of where I think over the next parabolic moves of the halving cycle, and also where the bear markets are hopefully going to become a little bit shorter. The bull markets, especially with Bitcoin, are going to look a lot different coming into the supply getting smaller and smaller in terms of what can be mined, what is being held on exchanges, and what is being held by the top wallets of Bitcoin. Because what you might not know is that 40% of the supply of Bitcoin is held by the top 2,500 wallets. Currently, if you were to compare that with how many active addresses are active today, there's 600,000 active Bitcoin addresses. So out of the 40% of the supply, and then out of only those 600,000 addresses, a less than that. So you got to think about that. So what that does, I think, is that it stabilizes the price from ever going to zero. And as long as these addresses don't sell, then the network effect of Bitcoin is always going to proceed to the upside, especially with Satoshi's wallet, because Satoshi's wallet has like 1 million Bitcoins in it or something like that. So it's pretty crazy to start to think about that as a insurance, that if you're trusting in the network and you're trusting in the cycles, then you can't lose. So as long as you're DCAing, you know it's going to be the money, and you think 2038, like you could wait that long for if you had one Bitcoin and you acquired one Bitcoin at one Bitcoin at what the prices are right now, that is absolutely astronomical. I mean, even Bitcoin going to $500,000, which is still bearish at this point, but only Bitcoin only going to 500K is bearish. It's bearish. All right, but let's see how Bitcoin's doing on the charts. Let's look at Bitcoin on the charts. We want to look at also how September is a lot of the times the worst month in the S&P 500 on average since 1928. So I wonder how this slip is going to affect the markets. Well, it looks like we cleared the pattern that we were just anticipating on Bitcoin. Just right before we started the stream, we drew this pattern and we said, oh man, it's actually... It looks like it's going to do a mimicking pattern of a inverse head and shoulders. Remus said, imagine watching Dano live in 2038. 2038, that'd be wild. So I wonder how live streams would be in 2038. I mean, I would hope at that point we'd have like a mega studio. We'd be streaming in... I don't know. Where would we be streaming in 2038? Well, I hope you guys would still be along for the ride, but man, it looks like Bitcoin is doing a pretty decent parabolic move to the upside here. Luckily, we did get back into the trade. We were, so this is what happened. I'll actually show you what we did on a tweet. We retweeted. I know the 4-hour candles is insane. Hold on. Let me hit you guys with this. Let me hit you guys with something.
Just like the Bible says, it's basically, this is their plan, people. These are demons. Just like the Bible says, it's basically an intergalactic invasion into this space through people. I'm telling you, it's what all the ancients said. It's what they warned of. It's what we're dealing with. They're demons. They're frickin' interdimensional invaders, okay? I'll just say it. Make fun of me all you want on CNN or wherever, but everyone already innately knows this. These people are not frickin' human.
Oh, and to clear up some of this this FUD about Trump being a part of Project 2025, this like hardcore, like hard right conservative agenda that was put out, and people had been connecting it to Trump and saying, yes, Trump's a part of that. He's about it. Like, finally, he came out, and because I was curious about this too. I was like, what is this? I was like, I haven't even read this thing. I haven't even read Project 2025. I didn't even want to because whatever the agenda is, people are so outraged by it, and I was like, I'm not exactly sure what is even in it, but Trump denounced it. I guess what was making people mad is there were some things in there that were pretty like I guess extreme, and there's some things in there that you could agree with, but so he denounced it on the Lex Friedman podcast recently. So if you haven't caught that podcast, check out that podcast. It's a good open conversation. They get into some diverse topics. They talk about China. They talk about the election. They talk about they talk about all kinds of stuff. So definitely worth watching. Tammy Hatcher, what is going on? So just saw you on the Moon Show with Crypto Kid. I know. I don't know what I'm doing. Hopping all over the place. But no, yeah, we Crypto Kid needed our help today, so we wanted to join him. It's always a pleasure to go on the Moon Show. So shout out to the Moon, shout out to Carl, shout out to Mr. M. Mr. M it was traveling, so we wanted to make sure we had the show on lock. And it's always good to get different perspectives. And yeah, we want to show you the trades. I don't know where do they go? We posted them. There we go. Okay. All right, so this is the initial trade. Took profits on the short into the zone and now long from somewhat lows. So we got in the short, we took the profit. We were able to get into now. And look, check out MM Crypto with LEO trades. It almost like MM Crypto was starstruck to run into LEO trades. Pretty cool. All right, so let's look at how we're doing right now. Okay, kind of getting a little bit of rejection, but if it is indeed lined up with this inverse head and shoulders, this looks like a pretty awesome inverse head and shoulders here that could play out. And so we got a really nice high volume node up here at 59,000, at 60,000, which is this previous resistance. So we actually could be forming this really key pattern here. And if we break this is actually a good sign. This is actually a really good sign. If we break this, we actually might be going a more bullish direction, even though we were short-term bearish to kind of scalp some Bitcoin. We are hopefully going to be scalping some Bitcoin to the upside now. And so if you guys ever want to do that and you want to make money going down with the market going down or up, spot, leverage, make sure you have risk management in place and use my links in the description, and you get a fat, juicy bonus with all of the links. Every single link has a unique bonus for you as long as you make a deposit and you trade. There's trading competitions happening on all platforms, and so there's opportunities for you guys to make extra cash. And yeah, so and it's a good way to support the channel. So with that being said, let's kind of go into what is happening in the altcoin space, in the meme space. Right now, we've been watching Kindu Inu, Orc, and Waffles, and Ponky as our picks, and PayPay. So I know that was kind of a long-winded list, but we have been watching, just to give you context, Pepe and Kendu Inu and Pepe are ERC20 meme coin tokens, are contracts on Ethereum. And these communities, in my opinion, I think have the biggest chance of the most gains for the bull run top, where I feel like that is going to be in Q1 of 2025. January, February, March is my like sweet spot. I think is where we're going to have the craziest parabolic moves for us going into like a true altcoin season, similar to what we had in November 2021, where we had things just going just to the moon. But it's very short window though when that happens. That's what's so tricky, is that like you got 3 months, you got all this craziness, all this volatility, and then all of a sudden in the last 3 months, that's when it just that is just when it gets crazy. This is when it gets crazy. And it almost feels like it's going to hurt and you're going to puke by taking profits, because you're like, it could go up even more. And so you have to battle all those emotions. But what we're doing right now is we're testing out getting into these strong meme coin projects by holder count, by looking at the liquidity locked, by looking at the trading volume and the interaction with the community, because those are the metrics you need to check off your box for trading memes, because they are very highly risky, highly speculative, but with high risk, you have high reward. And so if you're willing to hold through the volatility to get to all-time highs of Ethereum, you got to realize, so these are coins that are on Ethereum. When Ethereum gets to the point of breaking through its inflection point of a parabola, which I think Crypto Kid made a good point. He was like, look, I want to put in a trade and may set a limit order at 2,300 where it's going to wick. And it's interesting, we have the same level marked on our chart on TradingView that could have been a perfect level to get into a long position on Ethereum if you believe that Ethereum is going to see the same type of parabolic move that Bitcoin had with the ETF trading in January this year. And so I think Ethereum could be a very perfect indicator of how much these altcoins can run, because when we had Ethereum go up 19% in a day, we had altcoins absolutely run and go into a teaser altcoin season of this year in March. If you guys looked at the chart, if you look at the chart and you look at things like, for instance, Phantom is a good altcoin indicator coin of where we're starting to get some steam and get some confidence back in the altcoins. Is right here. We were able to trade out of this accumulation range of the bear market and go into the tier 2. I call it the tier 2 range because it is basically, this is a bear market accumulation range. This is tier 2 where it gets the strength, and then it could trade up in there. And then what happens is that we take profits, we get bearish sentiment, and then the market has an opportunity to accumulate again and push us up to the upside. But I want to show you where we had these moves. You can see here, if you get in closer. Get in closer. Look with me. So this was March. Look at where this coin was in accumulation mode, and you could have been anywhere in this purple box range to DCA, get an entry, and it would have been sweet. Okay, so let's go from just the middle point. Let's go. So I'm just going to go average price, 42 cents on Phantom, and then look at the highs that we were able to make. That is 189% move to the upside in just a matter of a couple of weeks in the month of March, with Ethereum having that move in February and March. And then even better, in May, did 19% right there on the day. So this was a nice forward momentum in a bull flag that pushed us up to get that move. Now, you could say Ethereum now has been on this longer time frame now of consolidation. It's starting to open up a little bit. And I think this could break to the upside harder than you guys can kind of realize at this point, because of the bearishness, because of the fear in the markets. You need to study what happened with Bitcoin in January when the ETF inflows started to come in really strong. It took a little bit, and then it started to just go ham. And so I think that's what's going to happen with Ethereum here. So CryptoKid might have just done a legendary trade right here at 2,300, and hopefully he has his stop loss set. And he has some take profit set. He's got some areas where he's going to at least scalp a little bit off because here, if you're looking at where we just bounced off this level and made a higher low, if you see, we made a higher low right here, and we could easily pop up into this support level, which is that 2,900, this 2,800, 2,900 level. We have it marked here, and also which is a key support level to break up to. And it's looking like if we form this pattern, we will trade up and do a similar pattern matching right here. We get hit resistance, and this looks like a very similar pattern that Ethereum was in recently, if you guys remember. Basically right here. It says that very close by. This kind of upside down cat ears, cat head, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's almost like an upside down cat with ears. And we had this pattern, basically right here. It was like, doo, 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 doo. And then we're going to repeat that pattern probably one more time. Oh, but it's looking good. You just have to correlate the strength of ETH with the altcoins. The only way we go into an altcoin season and altcoins pump is with Ethereum. It's the only way. It's the only way. I think I had the volume. Oh, let me see the volume. Yeah, let's look at the volume. We didn't have the volume up enough. Where is the drag point? For some reason, it's not giving me. The volume looks decent. Tammy Hatcher bought some waffles. Yeah, we're thinking about, let's go back into, we kind of went off a tangent, but it's just that was just for Ethereum. I mean, that was just for Ethereum. Now if we pivot and go to Solana, this is, what is this? What is this? Or is this the moon? Is this like the moonshot score or something? Do you guys know what this is? This new thing on Deck Screener. It has this like lightning bolt. I wonder if it's like some type of ranking system. But yeah, if you guys are fans of DaVinci, then you are 100% already aware of the 2 tokens or the 3 tokens that he has picked as his adoption tokens and being ambassadors for this bull market. So it's kind of like, why would you not at least speculate a little bit into Orc and Waffles and PayPay from the guy that said, I told you so with Bitcoin 13 years ago? So this is it could be that easy. So that's why, again, you don't want to be always the smartest guy in the room. You want to just be sometimes want to be the funniest degen. So our trade said paid to boost marketing. There are different tiers. Yes, of course. I mean, here's the thing. If you think about the roadmap of Waffles and you think about the roadmap of Orc, it's very simple. It's very simple. The roadmap of Orc was to get the attention of DaVinci. It says it right here. Get DaVinci J15's attention. Get him to start posting about it, and then it's game on. I like it. It's pretty simple. Go to the roadmap of Waffles. Roadmap. Daily content to attract DaVinci's J15's attention. Get DaVinci J15 talking about Waffles. That's what the lightning bolt is. Oh, our trades. Oh, paid to boost marketing. There are different tiers. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Oh, the lightning bolt. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't that must have I literally just noted. When did this start? I was just on Deck Screener last night and I did not see this. Did not see this. Interesting. And by the way, guys, you got to remember, like, remember then when people start trading like memes heavy and the liquidity starts to really ramp up and altcoin season starts to go crazy, DeFi starts to go crazy. And you have to remember about the protocols. So remember that Radium and Orca have tokens. QuickSwap has a token. Jupiter has a token. Decentralized trading platforms, a lot of them have a token. GNS, Gains Network, they have a token. These are things that you can keep on your list as some pretty decent speculative altcoin assets that can get high volume. I mean, Orca is one where you probably don't want to sleep on Orca. Orca against Radium is a good option, and a lot of the times you see these pairs, they have a lot of liquidity, and they are provided on Orca. Orca is one of those that we were like, dang, we've known about it for so long. We could have made a lot more money on Orca, but it is what it is. All right, so yeah, with Solana has a very interesting battle in its future, is the spamming of the network and who and what tokens are going to represent the Solana blockchain in a way that isn't just straight degeneracy. So I think Ponky is going to be one of those that's going to carry the torch of being the strongest coin, and and it's honestly the most undervalued coin too in terms of the Solana ecosystem. And so we'll go to liquidity, and this is the thing: you have to go by liquidity and the trading volume, not by the market cap and not by the transactions, because those are fake. The transactions are fake. The market cap's fake. The community's fake. Most of these tokens that have all that are fake. They're fake. I'm here to tell you that right now. I'm here to tell all of you, everyone that's watching right now, it is fake. I've come to the realization now, and Crypto Mason actually really helped me with this, because shout out to Crypto Mason and the Gold Squad. But Crypto Mason was like, look, I used to be in it so hard. He used to go through the markets just like we are, and you start to analyze this. You start to realize that, oh yeah, you can pay for bots to fake transactions from multiple different wallets. You can also buy followers for a Twitter page, for an X page. You can fabricate all of this stuff. You can even fabricate the movements of the market cap going to said whatever market cap's the target. But it's like, are there actual real traders in here? Are there real holders? And is it sustainable? No, it's not. Because obviously with that happening, we've seen 98% of these coins that have been created go to zero. And so only 1% of them actually end up surviving past a $1 million market cap for more than 24 hours. That's what's hilarious, is that most of these if they get up to $1 million market cap, they don't last for more than 24 hours over $1 million market cap, and then they go to zero. And then they stay under there. There's no liquidity. You can't sell it, and that's the problem. So this is why I think Ponky, the fact that there's $4.1 million of liquidity locked in this token with 56,000 holders and a market cap of 132 million, this is a healthy chart of a meme coin that you would probably want to hold because of those factors. And so when you pull all that in together and you go, oh yeah, I can't get fooled by the fake coins that are trying to distract me and suck my money like a leech out of conviction plays that are way just obvious at this point to hold. And this is not financial advice. It's just an observation of the narrative and what also is very important to watch out for when you are on crypto Twitter and everyone's giving you the next 100x or the next whatever. It's like, I'll give you the next freaking whatever, man. Come on. We've been talking about these same coins for months now, for months. It hasn't really changed. If you've been following this channel, we've been talking about the same coins this entire time. It really has not changed. And I got the receipts to prove it. Even with Brett, all that stuff. We were talking about Brett in March. So it's just, I think now the difference is that we're even more strongly convicted into into this narrative, because we've done the research. We've also had personal interactions, when we talk about, Orc and Waffles and stuff like that. We actually got a chance to talk to Da Vinci and get kind of pick his brain a little bit of why he's supporting these projects to begin with. And he's like, look, I can have whale assurance that we can build a steady holder base without there having be multiple whale manipulations and all of that stuff. So I like that type of confidence in anything that you're investing in. With your money, you have to have confidence in it. You have to have a little bit of trust, and it is a risk, obviously, but there's some risks that are a little bit easier to hold. And that's just like with Bitcoin, sometimes is even the hardest thing to hold, when we all have now figured out that Bitcoin is the ultimate asset, and people still have problems holding that. They'll still sell at these points when the market is shaking you out. It's crazy. So it's more a battle with yourself than battling with other people or trying to trade, or battling with the whales or the market makers. You are battling yourself. 100%. So now my price targets for these coins, if you're curious, of Waffles, I think we are going to complete a W pattern that might be a little overextended right now. But if we're going to break the previous resistance at 3 cents, the obvious target will be 4 to 5 cents in the next run. And so with ORC, we have a trajectory that we've already cleared. We're trading in this range between resistance and support, resistance up here and support down here. Trading up on this wedge, we have actually now completed this ascending. We're completing this ascending wedge, and I think the breakout point of this coin is going to be breaking its all-time highs, going to the 2 cent range. And so right now, basically, you're DCAing into strength, which is good. But also, if you were at any points a couple weeks ago, couple days ago, basically beginning of August, anytime in August was great opportunities to accumulate in this coin, because I think, like I said, undervalued and also has some better reassurance in this coin. Good liquidity. Wanted to talk about the liquidity. The liquidity keeps growing and keeps getting locked. Holders keep increasing, so that's why I've been following these coins. How do I get into memes? Is Deck Screener what I should look for? So Remus, the best way that you can get into memes, you can build your own portfolio watch list, and luckily, CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, CoinPaprika, whichever you'd like to use, gives you the list of the top traded memes right now. And what I like to do is go to the memes, click the memes, and then click on the 24-hour volume and see what has the highest trading volume currently right now. And this is just an awesome metric to discover which chains have the most popular, highest traded volume coin on their said chain. Right now, Sundog on Tron is the highest traded volume one on Tron right now. In terms of Solana, it is WIF and BOEM, so Book of Meme, Bonk, Popcat, Simon's Cat, and then Turbo is ERC20. So Turbo is connected to an NFT project. Sometimes a lot of these memes are connected with either a protocol, or they're connected with absolutely nothing, or they're actually connected directly to like a meme or to an NFT project. And then you have Brett here. Brett is the most popular traded meme coin on Base. But the way that you get into DeFi is that you're going to have to learn what protocols and what swaps are used on these chains. So for instance, if you're on Solana, you're going to be using Radium, Orca, Jupiter, Radeon. There's plenty of others, but those are the main ones. So you'd have to have a Phantom wallet. You need Solana in that wallet because you're going to cover the gas fees and use the Solana to swap into said coin if you're wanting to get into something like BOEM or Bonk. So you take that Solana, you get it, you set up in your Solana, in your Phantom wallet, and you are going to go on, and you can actually do it inside your wallet. So luckily, they've made it a little easier where you can actually swap into this. Say if you want to buy Bonk, you're going to make sure it's the right Bonk, make sure it's the correct address. You go onto the contract and say you're on Solana, so you copy the Solana address of the token. You paste that into the wallet, and then you're going to swap Solana for said meme coin. It doesn't have to be a meme coin, but just in general, you do this with anything, any contract. Same thing with Ethereum, but then you're going to be using MetaMask, or you're going to be using Coinbase Wallet or Trust Wallet, and you're going to have Ethereum, and you're going to use Ethereum for the swap, but also for the gas fees. And this is on Base as well. But when you're on, say, a layer 2 and you're using Polygon or you're using Metis, you're actually going to use Matic and Metis to swap inside those protocols as well. So everything kind of works very similar, but you're using the different networks, you're using different tokens to cover the gas, and also can you do the what's a good platform to trade in the US on, and what do you recommend for computer protection? I was like, why are you saying this, our trades? And I just went up to the next comment. I was like, oh, that's why. To answer your question, our trades, yes, they do. So what's a good platform to trade on the US on? Basically, everything, it's in my description. Everything that's in the description of this video is, I think, a good platform that you could check out and use and be very successful in, and also have bonuses. We've talked about them before, but I've been checking out recently. I've been checking out OURBIT for across the board trading, and also for meme spot buying, but then also BITFLEX and PHEMEX. But I would say just go into the links in the description, check out all of those, see how they feel, test them all out, because you're going to like some aspects of an exchange and their services better than others, and it's good just to have them all, to be honest. I wouldn't have all your eggs in one basket, and I've made that mistake with Voyager, where I had like primarily all of my crypto in Voyager, and we know how that went. And if you don't know how that went, that was a massive black swan event where basically FTX, Voyager, Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, all these different crypto companies went down and bankrupt, and it wrecked the entire market. Terra Luna, a blockchain, completely went down. Its stablecoin got depegged, and it wrecked the entire market. So you do not want to have all your eggs in one basket. Some people went all in on Terra and had their stablecoin and their life savings in the stablecoin, and guess what? It went to zero. In a matter of 24 hours. Absolute zero. And so it was carnage. It was absolute carnage. So this is a good lesson of self-custodian. Being a self-custodian, you have to self-custodian your crypto. Not your keys, not your crypto, is a very important statement, because the moment that things get bad for an exchange where they are going to lose, they will not protect you. They will protect themselves, and they will make sure that they do not get sued and they don't go completely under. They will shut down that platform as fast as you can blink, and you will not be able to get your crypto out. It has happened across the board, and this is why self-custodian hardware wallets, actual cold storage wallets, like the Treasure or like a Ledger. There's other companies now that are making really fancy high tech ways to store your crypto with your own seed phrase. And basically what this is just a mechanism for you to access your crypto on chain linked with this address. So as long as you have this and it's, you know, you can, and it doesn't get destroyed, but even if this does get destroyed, all you have to do is take your seed phrase that your Bitcoin and your crypto is linked with on chain and print it onto another device. And all it is a mechanism for you to access it. That's it. And so you don't have to complicate it so much. That is just how it works. And so what I've been doing is really like as much as I can, put crypto on this thing and on my wallets that I have the keys for, and keep them off the exchanges. Like, unless you're trading, unless you are doing some type of thing like that, then there's absolutely no reason to keep them on exchanges. So this is actually why the balances of exchanges for the balance of Bitcoin on exchanges is expected to run out 9 months after the halving. And this is what I think is going to make the price of Bitcoin go just parabolic because of these moves here. And we want to show you because after the halving and the 4-year cycle of the presidential election, we get the biggest moves to the upside. I don't know why this isn't loading. Is it loading now? There we go. Okay. So this is going to play out to be pretty massive run here. I mean, look at this. So, and why we're correlating this with the 9 months is because we're 4 months in. That means 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 6, 7 months. The last 3 months is the most epic time out of all of the run that leads up into the top of the bull market is like 3 to 4 months. You have 3 to 4 months of this like just craziness that where you could start to DCA out of the markets and reap the rewards of the times of where you were accumulating in the red, in the orange, and then we start to get that rally. But this lines up pretty substantially with our thesis of where we think Bitcoin is going to go maybe towards the end of the year, which is $150,000 per Bitcoin. Why we think it's going to be $150,000 per Bitcoin before the end of the year is because of that fact. We think that the cup and handle pattern on Bitcoin can play out. If you're looking at Bitcoin on the weekly, this is where you will see a massive cup and handle pattern that is going to break, I think. It could be after the election or even before the election that we get to $100,000 and also $120,000 before and after the election. So my bullish best case scenario is that we actually hit $150,000 in Christmas because we're having 2 rate cuts. We're going to have a full 50 basis point rate cut going into and after the election. And it's going to be interesting how this policy shapes up of who wins the election. That's what's going to be so crazy, guys. This is why I think Satoshi planned this thing perfectly, man. Planned it perfect to have 4-year cycle along with this presidential election for the United States. It's just like couldn't have been planned any better. And Crypto Knight said, I really don't get how so much of the supplies is being sucked up and we keep slipping lower and riding the bottom of the range. It gives us your theory narrative a lot of validity long term. Yeah, I mean, it's basically because like I don't want to focus too much on the short-term price action because ultimately it doesn't matter. Like when you look at and pull up the charts that I was just showing you, like this one, it really... As long as you are accumulating and getting as much money in the market as possible before we get into the green area of the parabolic run. You see here, look, November is the election. November, look, November 5th. November 5th is going to be the most important like metric in our industry. It's such a crazy metric in our industry that, and for the stock market, you just have to think about this. You have to think about what's happening right now is a massive shakeout to just, oh my God. I mean, just look at this. You have to analyze these charts and think, okay, I'm not too late. I'm not too late. I still have time, but it is running out. The time is running out, guys. The window kind of starts to get like shorter and shorter, but at least we do have a frame of reference. We have a point frame of reference. Time frame trajectory is what I've been calling it. Time frame trajectory. I know I've said that a lot on this channel, but I think time frame trajectory and a strategy and plan going into this bull market is what we need. And conviction, being able to hold a little bit, DCA and hold, have a degen like section off that is completely separate from what you are convicting, like your conviction plays, your conviction holds, conviction plays, keep that separate from your degenning and your trades and all that stuff. And I think honestly you'll do well, because then if you have a solid bag of almost your crypto savings account, almost consider it like your crypto savings account. You are like, you're putting into Bitcoin, you're putting in all these layer twos, you're putting into the things that you think are just going to absolutely rip. And so it's almost like putting it into this timeshare of crypto, where you're like, okay, I'm gonna unlock the chest at this point, and then I can make some calculated decision on where I want to go. But I like Ivan's point. Ivan actually said, Ivan on Tech, if you're not familiar. So shout out to Ivan on Tech. We'll probably go into Morales Money real quick before we end the stream and see what is trending on the Morales Money list in on-chain data. But Ivan on Tech made a good point of like, we want more on-ramps to crypto. We don't really care about off-ramps, because what is the point of making all of those gains to then put it into a shitcoin called the US dollar? And so that's basically like, who cares about off-ramping? Why would you want to off-ramp into the TradFi system again when the whole point of you getting into crypto was for you to get out of the traditional finance system to begin with? The crypto ecosystems are a better system to be in. It's more liquid. It has less restrictions. It has more open, frictionless type of movements, that where you have so much friction in the banks and in traditional finance that this is the whole point. So what you need to understand is that when you start to make gains in crypto, you keep them in the market. It helps the entire market. It keeps the flow, the liquidity, the DeFi. It keeps everything going. It's like when you start to look and analyze the cycle, and it's just like a circle. It's like, it's just this. Keep the money in the ecosystem. It will grow. So when you start to get frothy on Bitcoin, take your profits into the altcoins. And that's why the altcoins end up pumping, because then people start to speculate into the other assets. When Bitcoin starts to pump, Bitcoin retraces. Guess what? Altcoins start to pump. So it's so crazy that all you have to do is just stay in the markets long enough in a cycle and you'll be successful. And so I love that fact. I love that Ivan pointed that out, because it makes so much sense. I've thought the same thing. I'm like, why would you sell your Bitcoin or sell your crypto into fiat when you could literally nowadays, with a Coinbase card and with the crypto.com card, links in the description, you get a bonus if you sign up with my links in the description, is that you can learn the networks and get stable coins and BTC, all this stuff, and spend it directly on chain without having to go through the banks. If you need to make a purchase at a point and you have trouble with your bank, or it's a weird time frame or whatever it may be, whatever the circumstance is, you can get liquidity on chain sent in literally seconds by using Solana if you wanted to, and get a stable coin onto your card and spend it. Boom, done. You can't do that with the traditional finance system. You can't. There's too many roadblocks. There's too many hands in the pot. There's too many things that make that a frictioned system. That's why we're trying to create frictionless liquidity, DeFi, that can go across the entire world 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is what it means. So you got to wrap your head around that, and this is how you break yourself out of that TradFi matrix. The matrix is built with the web of the traditional system. And so you have to now start to reprogram your brain to then run your new program that you just installed that incorporates the Bitcoin standard and using those ecosystems. It's the whole point. And Nagu was asking, what is IWM? So the IWM is the Russell 2000 ETF. This is charted with the Bitcoin halving and the presidential election. So that's what this chart is. And so this is just a really great metric of what the stock market looks like after an election and after the Bitcoin halving. Since 2012. So since 2012, the first Bitcoin halving, we've had a parabolic run in the stock market and in Bitcoin, aka the crypto markets. And so this is just a really easy chart. And if you guys want to analyze this chart and do some research on it yourself, I will post it in the chat right now. And make sure you guys go and follow Max Because Bitcoin also. Support his TA and stuff like that. I love finding charts like this that are so simple, and even Plan B. Plan B's chart with his stock to flow model is in essence simple because it gives you a colored range of when we've been in the bear markets and when we've had the halvings and when we've gone up in the just in the ranges. So very, 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 very interesting things happening right now in the markets, guys. And I'm really glad you're with me. I'm glad you're tuning in. Really do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button. We haven't really been pumping the like button as much as we should on the stream, but we got 15 people watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really do appreciate you guys tuning in. I know there's only so many crypto streams you can watch in the day, and the fact that you are tuning into my live stream where you could be watching anyone else, awesome streamers like Crypto Face or Jason Casper or just any of the people, Randy Hipper. I mean, there's so many people that you could watch, and we support all those people, and Crypto Lifer. And so shout out to all those people that are in this industry as well, in the content space, in the trading space, in the crypto space. We want to say hello because I know you guys are watching. We all watch each other's channel. That's the thing. We're all watching each other's channel, see how we're all operating, how we can all better improve, and that is how you do it. So thank you guys for tuning in and hitting the like button. Make sure if you haven't, just smash it. Absolutely destroy it. We need to get to 20 before we end. If you're watching on the TV, hit up, right, select. That gets the like button hit on your fancy TV. I always say it's hanging above your fireplace. I know with the freshly skinned bear rug that you're laying on. I don't know if that's the scene for you right now, but when we hit the bull market, in the peak bull market, that will be the scene for all of us. Just imagine that. Just imagine. All right, so let's see what the altcoin market's kind of doing right now in terms of the short-term price action. Are we going to play out this inverse head and shoulders for Bitcoin in the immediate short term? Let's look. We're going to look at this chart that we had. Where did it go? Let's go back to the bit. I think it was the... Which, was it here? We got to go in the 4 hour and We drew an inverse head and shoulders somewhere, and where did it go? Oh, okay. So, all right, we're getting close. Yeah, it's actually playing out. So this, if it gets rejected, which it's getting a little bit of rejection off of here, and then if we get a little bit of that sideways action, then we will gain support and actually go up to 59,000, 60,000 for the short term. But we are in profit on the long, up 66%. And this was the leftover remaining margin that we had from the profitable trade of the short that we did last night. And so if you were watching my stream, last night, we'll go to the content. Let's see. Let's go to content. Let's go to live. And we'll actually try and find the point where we actually hit a take profit. We hit a take profit live. And if you guys were able to see that, you saw the entry, you saw where we were setting the stop loss, you saw we were setting the take profit. We were showing you exactly what you can do yourself if you want to test out trading and using proper risk management, because it can indeed work out. It can provide you more liquidity, but it also can wreck you to the downside. And so I want to be very clear that it's not just an up-only type of game. You have to look at your resistance. You have to look at your support levels. You have to combine that with if there's volume. Is there momentum? Is there no strength? What direction is the coin going to go? What time frames do I use? Well, you can get these metrics here on this channel in an interesting way, and I hope I'm providing that for you guys. I hope. Trying to find the clip, but because it was nice, we did it live. Doing it live. Let's see. Okay, this was major danger for Bitcoin. This was this today? This was No. Okay, here we go. Oh, was it here? Let's go. I mean, that's not that long to wait. 6 months to retire your entire bloodline. If you just get a couple $1,000s into some strong projects and just hold them for 6 months, that's not a bad bet. I mean, that's not with me. Fighting on this Bollinger Band. So yeah, we're trying to get the spot where we actually hit the Bitcoin. Oh, here it is. But now I think that people are going to see this. So you can see the setup. This is where we put in the the short movements. We set the stop loss above it. We set the take profit one. Yeah. Did it take it? Nice. There we go. All right. Bada bing. Bada boom. But see, then I thought to myself, hey, what would have been the move from there, though, whenever we hit that level, because it was such a quick wick? Now, because we were actively watching it at that point, we could have made the move to go long right on there because of the fact of where the last time the price went there, it did a wick to the upside. And so we learned from that. But we still were able to get long. We're long right now, but that would have been it, because then we got a nice little green candle retest to kind of scalp a little bit more profits, set the stop loss, set stop loss break even, and then we had a little bit of retracement to the downside, and then we started to gain a little bit more strength now to the upside. So I'm glad you guys, if you were able to see that live, and hopefully that helps your trading strategy, because we've been stress testing our own strategy, and whenever we diverted from our strategy, we got wrecked. And the moment that we start to actively implement our strategy and trading strategy of taking the profits aggressively, setting the stop losses, setting take profits 1 and 2, and then readjusting whenever you hit those, and using your profits that you made and immediately sending them into your out of the exchange and into the wallet so you can secure your bags is the strategy. That's the play. It's the one that I think can work for someone who's new into crypto, who doesn't have that much liquidity to play around with. With that, you can build up your portfolio with proper risk management to the upside, build up enough of a bag, and have no excuses to say, oh, I only have $1,000, I only have $50. I don't know if I'm going to be able to like get into invest or anything. Like, no, don't make those excuses. Don't make those excuses. So Asan Lewis is saying, thank you for sharing the graph. Just got into crypto. When did you first get into BTC? I actually got into Bitcoin during the COVID lockdown and the COVID crisis and all that stuff. Like, I think that's when a lot of people were just like, we were all locked in. We were all locked down in our houses and we couldn't go anywhere. And so I had the Robinhood app open a lot. And I was asking my friend a question because he actually was a little bit, he was more bullish on Bitcoin. He was explaining it to me, and he said, I'm just going to like try and put as much of my stimulus check into Bitcoin as I can because it could be a better option of just holding this like free money that we're getting. And at the time I didn't really understand. I didn't quite understand that at the time, because it was the market crashed. I think Bitcoin was at $9,000. And so after the fact, I started to see the strength in Bitcoin and everyone talking about it. And then I saw, okay, like Tesla's buying it. These big companies are hedging into it. There was more public support, I think, for it over past a period of time. And so then I started to take it a little bit more seriously. And then in January 2021 is when I actually started to go, okay, I got to really start to pay attention to this thing. I got to start to pay attention to this thing. I got to start paying attention to crypto. I have to start paying attention to this ecosystem because this is like the internet. It was the same feelings I got was when I was using the internet as a kid, and how it's part of everything that we do. It just has that same type of feeling. So I'm glad I'm sticking with it. I'm glad you guys are coming in new. If you're new and you're just getting in, like, welcome. Like, this is not for the faint of heart, I will say. Like, it will make you like an emotional wreck. If you, 100%. Like, investing in general and it's your money. I mean, you got to think people have lost a lot of money trying to play markets and play the investing game, but the people that have won the most are the people that play less games and do DCAing and just hold, have a better hodl mentality, and then you can kind of start to study the markets and the cycles, and you'll learn that, okay, these are the times when you accumulate, these are the times when you sell, and if you can keep the concept of staying in the crypto markets with stable coins and all those things, you start to learn that, then you're not even going to even think about the TradFi system or fiat. You're going to think, I have a system now. There's a system that I know of that can protect me from the craziness. So I hope that helps. But I feel like there's a lot of new people. There's a lot of new people showing up. I really do appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much for finding this channel and building up this community. If you want to continue to watch these live streams, that would be amazing. And you guys can always come in, share your thoughts. It is a open discussion. As you can see here, we got live chat. We have our regulars. We got Crypto Naughty. We got Nagu. We got Ozzy. We have our trades, Kenyatta, Remus. Really do appreciate you guys. Shazzy, Meditation Station, Mr. Tanker, all the people. If you have not made yourselves some XN, there we go. We got the mod XN. We got XN, and she's also a member of the channel. I mean, I see. I don't know if you're a female. I see your picture is a female. So I mean, don't know these days. My wife sent me a really funny picture It was a black car with a white fender, and it had written on it, "I identify as a buffed, non-dented black fender." I was like, that's good. That's good. It was too funny. But you gotta be able to take a joke. You gotta be able to take a little joke, guys. I mean, come on. We gotta have a little sense of humor. Because it was busted. It was a busted fender. So I was like, yeah, you need to identify as something. I identify as a meat popsicle. That's what I identify as. If you're a fan of The Fifth Element, then you all identify as a meat popsicle. All right, guys. Are we done? Did we? Yes, exactly, XN. I identify as a millionaire. Yes, we identify as rich. We're going to choose rich today. We are going to choose rich today. Are you choosing rich? I'm choosing rich. I'm long on Bitcoin. Are you choosing rich? Go long on Bitcoin. We should do a commercial. Do you choose rich? Are you selling at every opportunity where you get flooded out of the market? Have you not watched enough Nick content on crypto Twitter? Have you not been able to choose rich your entire life? Long Bitcoin now. All right, so Asan Lewis has said, is DCA based on the price of BTC or personal funds? Okay, so dollar cost averaging is based off a metric of how much you are putting into the market. So DCAing is just dollar cost averaging a strategy of, say after all your expenses are paid in the month and you have $200 left over. What you'll do is split that $200 up into some say okay, and you could be very simple. I mean, like so boring. People would call you boring, but you'll actually be real smart. You take $100 and you buy Bitcoin. You don't care what the price is. You don't care. It doesn't matter. You just buy it. Ethereum. You buy it, $100 of Ethereum. You don't care what the price is. You don't care. You just buy it. And you do that every single month. You either can set it up on a monthly basis, you can set it up on a weekly basis, and it works. And so you do that long enough, you end up with a savings account of crypto, essentially, and that will battle inflation. It will actually put your savings account to work, if that you want to use the analogy of a savings account. That is how dollar cost averaging works, is that you don't care what the price is. You don't care. You just buy it. You can set limit orders. You can just buy market. You can buy spot market. You can actually do this by, you can do it directly inside the wallets now by using third parties with your debit card. And so this is what DCAing is, and it's not. It's not based off price. That's the whole thing. You don't care what the price is. Bitcoin could be, it's just like Michael Saylor, like he's been perpetually buying the top, like this whole cycle, but also buying when there's dips as well. So it's just, they don't care. They're like, we think it's going to go to $1 million per coin. So do you care if it's 58,000 the next day or 70,000 the next day? No, because if it is going to be the money and it is going to go to $200,000 in the short term in the next like 7 months, then $60K is pretty damn cheap. $60K, you're not worrying about that. You're not even worried about 70. What other asset are you going to be able to do that in? Not many. Not many. You're not going to be able to do that with very many assets. And so this is why I think this is the key time to just start selling sell the farm, back up the truck, sell the farm, I don't know, just like whatever you got to do to start to understand Bitcoin and what it actually is doing for what it can do for the little guy. It's the easiest way out for the little guy. That's kind of what I've been wrapping my head around and really starting to understand, is that it's not, even though there's whales that are obviously manipulating the price, it is still a mechanism and exit strategy for the little guy, if you start to understand it. All right, Hassan Lewis said, thank you, super helpful. I'm subscribed to your channel now. Yes, let's go. And I do go live daily. I go live Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so if you would like to bring some friends into the live stream, let's orange pill them together. What do you say? But yeah, if you want to honestly get your crypto starter pack going, just use all the links in the description. It's the easiest way that you can start to experiment and get your feet wet, learn your risk tolerance, practice the risk management that I was talking about if you were paying attention, about if you're going to, and honestly, I think we're going to start maybe just kind of like a basics, like beginners course or something like that. So then it's a little bit more directed focus, because I would tell you guys, like, I got like ADD, ADHD, ADD, PP, PPXP, Windows XP. I have Windows XP running in my brain. And so sometimes we can get a little crazy and we can get a little side railed off topic or go down a rant and rabbit hole, especially when we start to talk about the system and the overreaching, crazy government conspiracy control. And it's just wild. Yeah. All right. So now I think that, yeah, I'm looking at the time now and I'm like, oh, yeah, it is one. Why haven't been, guys, you haven't told me to stop streaming? What am I doing? Why am I streaming still? It is 1 o'clock. I started at 11:30. I've been yapping my freaking trap this entire time, but I'm glad that I got some new members, new people. Sound like a damn cult leader. New members. No, you guys are awesome. I got new awesome people watching the channel. And so that makes us bullish. And when we get bullish and happy, we just keep yapping. And we probably could stream for freaking 24 hours. And we wouldn't even bat an eye. But then my wife would literally be like a stone in the corner. All right, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the live stream. And yeah, so Hassan, get into the Discord, and this is where you can actually ask questions directly and get the quickest answers is in the Discord. I have a bowl of food sitting right next to me, so I need to get that in my face, and then also I need to get the rest of the day going. Holy crap. Let's go, guys. Let's do it. Happy trading. Happy middle of the week, and we will see you on the next live stream. All right, peace out.